So you're wanting chickens. I don't blame you. They're pretty cool. It's not always glamorous, even though I make it look pretty good. So you're either wanting them to get closer to nature, just because you're mentally unwell and want something to do. You're trying to get farm fresh eggs. That's usually what people are wanting, farm fresh eggs, a way to be closer to it and cut out the middleman. So here's a list of everything that you need from the beginning to the end, do's, don'ts, kind of like a chicken 101. So let's get ready for class, come on. Did you like that at all or no?
Yeah, it was pretty good actually.
Okay.
Don't mind the signs. They're faded. Didn't this used to say the fluffy butt hut?
Yeah, this used to say the fluffy butt hut. It was beautiful.
You can open it.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. So before you even think about getting chicks, you want to think about something like this. Those chicks aren't just going to be chicks forever. They're going to be full-grown chickens one day. Really, they are. Believe it or not, they do get big. So before you're even thinking about getting chicks, think about where you're going to put them. They grow really, really fast. A good rule of thumb is they need to be outside in about 3 to 4 weeks. So look at your last frost date. Go about 3 weeks before that. That's when you want to first start getting your chicks for the spring. Because then, by the time they're feathered out, they're going to be ready for the outside. And you're going to really not want them in your bathroom. Because odds are, for some reason people keep them there. I don't know why. But they oftentimes end up in the bathroom. And you're going to have to deal with them for a while. And they're going to be stinky. So the least amount of time that you could do with that in your house, the better. So in this coop, it's about a 10 by 10 pen, and the actual coop itself is about 4 foot by 4 foot. So in this size, I like to keep around there's 4 hens and 1 rooster in here. A lot of this is gonna also depend on if you're free ranging. If you're free ranging, you probably keep a little bit more in here because it's temporary, they're not in here 24/7. But if this is where they are, I don't like to overcrowd them. And in reality, you need to be thinking about how many eggs that you really need. If it's just for your family, with about 4 hens, you're gonna be getting about 3 to 4 eggs a week out of each hen. That's a lot of eggs. So be thinking about not overspacing, maximizing what you have with the least amount, because the more chickens, the more feed, the more those eggs are going to cost you in the long run.
Do you think that'll support my weight?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just sit more at like the top right there.
Okay.
There we go.
Am I cute?
You're so cute.
I'm Evan. What do you want to talk about? You decide if you want eggs from your birds, if you want meat from your birds, if you just want pets, or whatever your goal may be when you get the birds. Breeds are very important. So different breeds bring different things to the table, or the coop, depending on... Never mind. That was silly.
That was a definite dad joke.
Anyway, so egg-laying breeds. There's so many good ones out there. Some are a little bit better than others. A lot of the Mediterranean breeds are really good layers of big white eggs, such as Minorcas, Leghorns, etc., etc. It's a long list. Those will be really good layers, but they tend to be a little bit more flighty. Some people have great results with them being pets, but I found that they're a little bit more flighty, especially the white-faced black Spanish. I love them. I love them so much, but they are flighty. And then there's more like Rhode Island Reds. Rhode Island Reds are excellent, like brown egg layers, but they tend to be a little bit on the mean side. So each one of them has a pro and con, so you have to do research on the breeds before you get them, so you're not out here stuck with a whole pen full of birds that are not doing exactly what you wanted, and then you get discouraged.
Good.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Let me give you a hand.
I had chicken shit on that. Talking about coops, this one that we were actually showing off right now is a producer's pride. We did not get it from the manufacturer or a place of business. We actually got it off of Facebook Marketplace used. At a really good deal. That's why we got it. This one has worked really well for us. Would I get another one? Probably not. It just depends because they are really pricey if you buy them brand new. Predator proofing is a really big thing, especially if you're in a place that you're more likely to have a predator issue. One big thing that you can do is use hardware cloth. Hardware cloth you can put all over the existing wire. You can actually go underneath the ground with that wire. When you put it up, you put extra down under the wire and bury it. So if there's any diggers, they can't dig into the coop.
So basically the main things you need: fresh water, food, and a place for them to sleep. That's kind of it per se. Chickens, a lot of people like to overcomplicate it. You do not. This is just kind of the basics, and that's what we do. We stick to the basics, and that's what works for us. So we're at a local feed store. It's Gorganos in Whiteville, North Carolina. We're here to pick up a few things. Shavings is the main one. We're gonna get a lot of those. We need them for our outside duck pens as well as our brooders, because we're gonna have a lot of chicks coming soon. And then secondly, we just got some feed, but we can show you what feed we get, what's good, what to maybe stick away from, and go from there. So come on. We need a lot. We need some for the outside duck pens and the brooder.
So,
Get the whole thing.
it's a lot of money. Alright, so I'm going to pick out things that I would buy for myself, starting with the chick stuff. Little chicks, you don't need to go big right out of the gate unless you have a lot of them, but typically, you know, most people will start out with just a few chicks. These are really good for bantams, small space for water so they don't get inside, flip upside down, and accidentally. Anyway, and then these, they make these in several different colors. You can get as fancy as you want. And if you have, these are good for like large fowl chicks, and then also ducklings. Me personally, I put like some marbles or some small rocks throughout here so they can get their bill in between it, but don't make a huge mess. These, I don't particularly like the metal ones. If I do use them, I will use the plastic ones. I don't know why, it's just what I prefer. I find them a little bit easier to clean. Maybe I'm crazy. Typically go for more of these. I don't like the ones that have the lids that are flat on top, because the chicks, when they get their wings, they get on top of it and poop.
They also do make these tops.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, those go on top of...
Like any of them?
Yeah. It's off by squeezing it. Yeah.
Okay. That
And
felt
then-
not natural.
You put that on top of it.
It kind of stays.
Yeah, well, it's
Like-
not a blizzard.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind that. I didn't know they made these.
Yeah. I also do not like these.
Yeah, no.
Those get clogged. I'm not a huge fan of the nipples.
I do love these waterers a lot. These are my favorite, actually. This brand particularly, it's Mana Pro. They're really sturdy and strong, and they work great. And they make a big one. Nesting pets. If you want to get fancy with it, sure. Or you can just throw some straw in there. It'll be fine.
So Evan, break down all of this. How much of it's needed and how much of it is just for you?
All of it is just for you except for these two. This is very important, especially for laying hens. It helps with calcium levels. It's always good free choice. Poultry gut, it's really good to have. It helps with digestion and stuff, but if you free range, you don't necessarily have to have that because they find a lot of it in nature.
Don't need that.
There it is right there.
Yeah, yeah. It's just tiny little rocks. You don't necessarily need that. Calcium though, that's a big thing. None of this, you actually need. Mealworms, yeah, that's a good source of protein, but at the same time,
a lot of them are overpriced. You
Yeah.
can get huge bags online for like, this is $6 for this little piece. You can get 10-pound bags for what?
Yeah.
40?
And it's just like animal protein, and there's a lot of other ways to supplement that in their diet.
Hold on, is this just corn? No, it's got mealworms in it too.
Yeah, it's corn and mealworms
For $10.
for $10.
And
We're definitely gonna get so many brand deals.
right now they're everywhere. Are they cute?
Of course, when I just dropped $75 on 2 plants. Actually, $75 each.
Yeah.
Now they're everywhere.
This one has spider mites.
Wait 1 second, there's something going by. So with brooders, you can get as fancy as you want, but this wall of everything is where I like to say, fuck it, and just get something. Because they're just gonna be living in it for about 3 to 4 weeks. And this right here is gonna be perfect. You don't really need to get all too fancy with it. Now, I've raised probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of chicks in something just like this. You can get 1, you can get 5, you can get as many as you want. And once those chicks start getting feathers, they're gonna start wanting to fly out. Great thing is, it comes with a lid. So you're gonna just cut out the square, boom, 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 get some hardware cloth, cut it to size, and attach it with some zip ties. That way, they're still getting ventilation, but they're not able to fly out. Honestly, the best bang for your buck, not gonna lie.
Ooh, look at that.
That?
Side profile.
Oh. It's not good. Honestly, just go ahead and get like 1,000 of these. They're gonna go missing, or you're gonna have too many, but you're gonna use them at one point or every single day of your life, now that you have chickens.
And what are those?
Zip ties.
There you go.
They're zip ties, obviously zip ties. They were able to look up this video, they know what a zip tie is.
You know someone's gonna ask. They're like, you didn't say what that was.
It's a zip tie. So now the fun part, we gotta put everything all together. Might not be fun depending on who you are. We use a huge water trough, like meant for cows, just because we work with so many chicks in a year. It's big enough that I could just hang out in here. First things first, you wanna make sure that it is dry, and how you do so is with shavings. Stick clear from cedar. You wanna use pine shavings. So this is what we use. This is what you're gonna wanna look for. Something fine, dry killed, that kind of thing. These are what our local feed store offers, so that's what we get. Now, one thing a lot of people do is clean out their brooders constantly, which is fine and dandy if that's your life. However, one thing that I feel a lot of people make the mistake of is keeping their brooders too clean. Chickens are chickens. Yes, you do want biosecurity, you do want certain things tip-top clean and pristine. However, with certain things, the goal is to build an immunity. They're not gonna be living in this brooder forever. You want them to be able to build resistance to things. One thing I like to add into my brooders is dirt from the outside. Once they get to a certain age, I like to add grass clippings, that kind of thing. It builds up their immune system. It introduces them to protozoa like coccidia, other things that would mess up their guts, because a lot of things that kind of attack chicks are kind of gut central. Now, my first pro tip is gonna be building a kind of a wooden square and putting hardware cloth over the top. This one's definitely been loved. I think it's about 3 or 4 years old. Definitely need to make a new one, but they stand the course of time, and you just put it in your brooder, and that's what you're gonna set your water on. This will keep shavings from getting into your water and ultimately saves you a lot of headache in the end. Next, your feeder is just simple. You can use a mason jar or whatever this comes with. This kind of detaches. It's really easy to clean out, but that can go right on top of that right there, or you can find another space for it in the brooder. Whatever works for you, works for you. Out of everything that we've discussed today, there's a lot of ifs, ands, there's a lot of gray area. Now, I want to be perfectly clear when I go over this next topic that there are also some gray areas. However, at the end of the day, I just want you guys safe. I want your animals safe. So heating is a big one. Heat plates work well for a lot of people. Me, in my experience with them, I do not enjoy them. They get really dirty, really easy. Chicks get on top of them, leave a cake pile of poop on the top of them. It affects the way that they work. I just don't have great experiences with them. I use the most safe, I say safe loosely, heat lamp that I could find. This is by Premier One. Right here, there's a guard. It detaches. You can clean the inside of it, make sure it's clean, put it back on. You can attach it. If this falls, it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna mess anything up. It's gonna unplug. It has automatic features. It's great. I use it. This is what works best for me. It might not work best for you. So yeah, I know this is terrible lighting, but this is kind of what a brooder should look like. You have your hot side, you have plenty of space for the chicks to cool off a little bit if need be, and you have your food and water and dry bedding. Now we could argue back and forth until we're both blue in the face about chickens and what is, but then we'd literally be arguing about chickens and that's done. There's a million different ways to raise a chicken and there's no right or wrong way. I mean, there's definitely a wrong way, but there's a lot of gray area. And there is so much that we didn't get to go over in this video, like feed specifics. Honestly, this is just a brief overview and introduction into chicken. And if there are any questions or topics you'd like us to get to in the future, definitely let us know in the comments. But I do hope this brief overview inspires you to get into poultry keeping. As always, feel free to like and better yet, follow us on our journey through small living while making big impacts.